Okay, so I've been told that it would be unfair of me to make a diorama for my favourite Bionicle and not my fiance's. And as you likely saw from the thumbnail, you know it's Jala. And his crab, called Hahnah. Now finding Jala in the wild is a bit harder than last time. Firstly, you have to boot up Mario Kart Deluxe on the Switch. You better have the booster course pack because we're going to Calamari Desert. But by complete luck, you will load into Jaller Mahri Desert instead. And there he is. Hold on, Jala.
Are you kidding?
Yo.
I'm not kidding when I say I love the Mahri trailer though. Jala's walk to the mask was so cool. Wait, pause. I think it's adjustment time. Jala's overall design is pretty much flawless. However, with a couple of these pieces, times 2, you can create an attachment on Jala's back for Hahnah to rest on. I really wanted there to be freedom of choice with this diorama. Unlike the previous diorama, having the option for Hahnah or Jala to hold the Kodak blaster and allowing more freedom for the figures to be posable was a must. Jala, where's your mask? I don't know why, but the hands in Bionicle always bother me. When I built Hydraxon, I was pleasantly surprised to see he has his own digits. I tried a similar method for Jala, but realised that, counterintuitively, you would have to lose a finger to be able to hold items. So for the moment, 3 fingers per hand would have to do. You know it's glowing eye time. I tried a warm white LED and a yellow LED to see which colour worked better through the eyepiece, and to my surprise, the warm white LED looked the best and accentuated the yellow eyes more. I borrowed Kongu's half-eye brain stalk temporarily to see how well the piece works, and it looks pretty good. However, I don't want to change too much and will try and experiment later to try and make the original piece work. Hahnah's turn next. I primed all the parts off screen and got stuck into the painting.
Don't shoot! Oh, ow! A lot of the Bionicle models have so many little details that aren't as noticeable because everything is one block colour. I love having the freedom of deciding which accent colours would work and where, to really highlight these hidden details. Still keeping to the spirit of the original design of course, but I do wonder what cool paint jobs you could do with different models. Maybe one day. I used a hot wire cutter to cut through what I thought was the bottom of the eyepiece. Turns out I had it upside down, so I cut through the top instead.
This allows the LED to fit in quite nicely, but leaves an unsavoury view of the top of the head unfortunately. After rewinding time, I fixed my error and cut the underside instead, which was better to look at, but the LED was nowhere near as secure as before. I get around this by securing one LED for each eye beside the eyepiece, which you will see later. This was a lot easier than Jaller's eyes. I roughly measured out the length of the original chain and added on a bit more for manoeuvrability reasons. Using pliers, I removed the rest of the chain and created a small hook on each end to hook onto things.
Obviously.
Speaking of obviously, this spot on Hahnah looks too obvious to attach here, but then the Kodak plaster would not be able to be attached. With no other places to attach the chain, I had to think of further adjustments. With these additional pieces, I could essentially create a bar from one claw to the other and have the hook secured onto it, locking it in place. I'd feel bad if I didn't create an additional adjustment for Jala, and I had an idea. Looking at Jaller's fire blade, this part is practically begging for something to go into it. It's like a piece is missing. With this LED filament, I could create a warm, curved noodle of light to add some heat to this fire blade. The noodle, unfortunately, is not strong enough on its own, so with a perfect suggestion from a friend, I used the inner tubing of an empty pen to add rigidity. However, the pen was too rigid, so I used the heat of a hairdryer to help shape the tube into the position I needed it to be in. And voila! It was then time for some soldering. Once the wires were connected, I superglued the noodle of light into the weapon and tested to make sure it still worked. Actually, now that I think about it, probably should have done that step before the superglue. I fed all the cables through Jala to make it look as natural as possible. But hold on, we still need a base. Ah, foam.
Wow!
I roughly measured out a square from the rectangle and cut it out. I smoothed off the edges and wondered if I could make a stand from the remaining foam piece. With a little craft magic, I have the pieces I need. The stand elevated the base and had the added benefit of hiding the battery housing when the diorama is complete. I'll add a layer of Mod Podge onto the entire base and sieve some sand on top of it until I got a nice even coverage. I don't mind if the sides aren't completely covered. The top is a priority. I primed the base and painted a black base colour. layering on top a dark blue, then a not so dark blue, then a light blue, and finally a very light blue dry brush, and I'm really pleased with the finish. I positioned the models where I wanted them to be and marked where the cables would come through the base and soldered everything together. Now I think the lads could do with some good shoe polish. I swear I've not inhaled too much primer. Shoe polish works as a great dark wash, getting into the cracks and creases of models, really making them pop. Just remember to dab away any excess pools and not overdo it. Roll the beauty shots. If you're still listening, thank you for sticking to the end of the video. Any support you could show, whether that is liking, subscribing, or maybe sharing with that fellow Bionicle lover in your life, I would really appreciate it. As for what's next, leave your ideas below. Otherwise, well, guess you'll find out soon. Thanks for watching.
Thank